step back in time to the origins of America's most infamous ranch. The explosive first trailer for Yellowstone, 1944, has arrived, unveiling the untold saga of power, betrayal, and the birth of the Dutton dynasty. With an all-star cast and a story darker than the Montana wilderness, the Yellowstone prequel is coming in 2026. Here's everything we know, plus the full cast list and release details. You've been waiting. The Dutton legacy began long before the battles over the Yellowstone ranch we know today. And in 2026, we're finally getting the full story. The first official trailer for Yellowstone, 1944, has arrived, pulling back the curtain on the brutal origins of the Dutton dynasty. Set against the rugged backdrop of post-war America, this highly anticipated prequel promises ruthless power struggles, family betrayals, and the untold secrets that shape the future of the Yellowstone Ranch. Below, we break down the explosive trailer, reveal the full cast list, and share all the key release details you need to mark on your calendar. Yellowstone, 1944 delves into the brutal foundation of the Dutton Empire, exploring the ruthless choices that built and nearly destroyed America's most infamous ranch. Set in the shadow of World War II and the hardscrabble frontier of mid-20th century Montana, the prequel uncovers a world where land is won by force, loyalty is tested by fire, and family is both the greatest weapon and the deadliest weakness. With a cast of hardened ranchers, scheming outsiders, and lawmen who play by their own rules, Yellowstone, 1944 promises a grittier, darker chapter in Taylor Sheridan's Saga 1, where the origins of greed, vengeance, and unshakable legacy are laid bare. The trailer teases a story of survival, betrayal, and the untamed lawlessness that forged the Duttons into the warriors they are today. As the release date approaches, fans can expect a raw, unflinching look at the birth of Yellowstone, where every fence post was planted in blood, and the only rule was, hold what's yours. The year is 1944. As World War II rages overseas, a different kind of war is brewing in the mountains of Montana. The Dutton family, now in their third generation on the Yellowstone Ranch, faces its greatest threats yet. James Dutton, i.e., grandson of the original settler, stands as the unyielding patriarch, protecting what his family bled to build. But the post-war world brings new dangers, returning soldiers hungry for land, government agents eyeing their territory, and rival ranchers looking to finally break the Dutton stronghold. The first trailer reveals a Montana on the brink of change. Cattle barons, led by the ruthless Cole Hardman, plot to strangle the Dutton supply lines. Federal marshals push new land reforms that could strip away generations of Dutton control. Even within the family, cracks appear as James's younger brother Eli questions their violent ways, threatening to tear the clan apart from within. Shadows of past sins resurface through sweeping shots of Montana's wilderness and tense, blood-soaked confrontations. The trailer promises the rawest Yellowstone story, yet frozen river shootouts, brutal hand-to-hand ranch battles, and whispered threats in crowded saloons set the stage for the Duttons' most desperate fight. A young John Dutton, Sr., appears in brief flashes, hinting at the legacy of violence being passed to the next generation. The full cast brings Taylor Sheridan's vision to life, with lead actor as the hardened James Dutton, i.e., actor as his conflicted brother Eli, actor as the vicious rival, Cole Hardman, actress portraying Clara Dutton, the family's moral center in a world gone mad. Filmed across authentic locations in Montana, Utah, and Texas, the prequel maintains the franchise's signature cinematic grandeur while delving deeper into darkness than ever before. Paramount Plus plans to unleash this new chapter in 2026, continuing Sheridan's expansion of the Yellowstone universe. The trailer's final moments leave no doubt about the stakes. A grizzled James Dutton cocks his rifle and mutters the family creed. They want our land? Let them try to take it. The screen cuts to black with a single gunshot. The world of Yellowstone, 1944, undergoes seismic shifts as we look ahead to Season 2, with characters evolving in shocking ways. New threats are emerging from both within and outside the family. The aftermath of Season 1's brutal conflicts leaves permanent scars on the Duttons, setting the stage for an even darker chapter in their history. James Dutton, once the unwavering protector of Yellowstone, now rules the ranch with an iron fist. After surviving Hardman's assassination attempt, a gruesome axe fight leaves him missing two fingers, a constant physical reminder of the violence required to hold their land. His paranoia reaches new heights, straining relationships with everyone around him, including his wife, Clara, who secretly negotiates with the Bureau of Land Management behind his back, fearing his escalating brutality will destroy their family. Eli Dutton, presumed dead after his betrayal and near-fatal plunge into a frozen river, makes a dramatic return, but not as the man he once was. Resurrected as a ruthless oil speculator, he aligns himself with East Coast investors, including the cunning Standard Oil heir, Cyrus Pike. Together, they plot to drill on Dutton land, using Pinkerton agents to harass the ranch in a brutal campaign that mirrors the corporate warfare of the modern Yellowstone era. Eli's transformation from rebellious brother to full-fledged antagonist marks one of the season's most devastating turns. Claire Dutton, the family's moral compass in Season 1, reaches her breaking point. When James discovers her secret dealings with the government, he exiles her to a remote sanitarium run by the enigmatic Sister Magdalene, a place where troublesome women vanish without a trace. But Clara refuses to be erased. Her escape sets her on a collision course with James, and she may find an unlikely ally in Marshall Hayes, forming a coalition against the Dutton empire she once fought to preserve. Meanwhile, young John Dutton, Sr., undergoes his own harrowing transformation. No longer the wide-eyed boy witnessing his family's violence, the now 16-year-old commits his first kill, a ranch hand who threatens his mother. His chilling reaction to the act foreshadows the unflinching leader he will become, marking the true beginning of the Dutton curse. Even former enemies shift allegiances in this new war. Cole Hardman, left crippled and humiliated after his defeat in Season 1, reluctantly joins forces with James against a greater threat, the U.S. government's aggressive land seizures under post-war eminent domain laws. The irony is bitter. The man who once burned Dutton barns now stands beside them as federal troops descend on Montana, using wartime tactics to dismantle the rancher's way of life. New characters add fuel to the fire. Agent Robert Graves, a hardened World War I veteran turned federal enforcer, employs reconnaissance planes and wiretaps to outmaneuver the Duttons. His mission, to break up feudal ranches like Yellowstone and redistribute the land to returning soldiers. Then there's Cyrus Pike, the oil tycoon backing Eli's revenge, who represents the industrial forces that will eventually threaten the ranch for generations. His offer to buy Yellowstone for $10 million, followed by a veiled threat, sets the stage for a battle far beyond cattle and bullets. The season's central conflict pits land against law as the government moves to claim Yellowstone for veteran resettlement. James responds by forming a rancher militia, an early precursor to the modern livestock agents. But betrayal cuts deep when a Dutton cowhand leaks herd locations, leading to a mass slaughter of cattle by federal troops, a devastating blow that pushes the family to the brink. By season's end, the future of Yellowstone hangs in the balance. A government surveyor's whispered warning. There's oil under this whole valley, enough to burn your legacy to ash. Echoes like a death knell. Yet as James stares at his grandson, "We don't lose," serves as a grim reminder. The Duttons will fight to the last breath. The cycle of violence continues, and the legacy of blood is far from over. The dust settles over the Montana plains as Yellowstone 1944 reaches its climactic conclusion. The Duttons stand battered but unbroken, their legacy cemented in blood and sacrifice. James Dutton, now a grizzled relic of the man he once was, surveys his land, the battlefield that birthed an empire. James Dutton, stands on his land with hollow eyes, the price of victory etched into his scarred hands and weary soul. The government's assault has been repelled, but not without cost. The ranch is littered with fresh graves, including those of men he once called brothers. Clara, having escaped the sanitarium, returns not for reconciliation, but to deliver a final ultimatum. In a tense standoff beneath the whispering pines, she forces James to choose between his obsession with the land and what remains of his family. He lets her go, watching in silence as she rides east with Marshall Hayes the only Dutton to ever walk away. Eli's war ends in fire. His oil dreams go up in flames when James and Hardman sabotage his derricks, leaving him screaming curses into the smoke. But the true gut punch comes later. A letter from Claire reveals that his teenage son, a boy he never knew existed, died in a federal raid. The cycle of vengeance claims another soul. Young John Dutton, sir, now hardened beyond his years, buries his first love, a ranch hand's daughter caught in the crossfire. As he kneels in the dirt, his father's words echo. This is the weight of the name. The camera holds on his bloodied knuckles, the same hands that will one day teach John Dutton II to fight, and later, John Dutton II to rule. The screen fades up on a winter-gray Yellowstone. 1947. 3 years of war have left the ranch standing but not unscarred. James Dutton I walks the fence line alone. The missing fingers on his right hand twitch toward his holster, out of habit, a habit earned through blood. The land is quiet now. Too quiet. Inside the main house, Clara's absence lingers like a ghost. Her favorite coffee cup sits untouched on the kitchen shelf, collecting dust. James hasn't moved it. Won't move it. On the porch, her rocking chair still sways when the wind blows just right, as if she might return any moment to take her seat. But the letter in James's desk drawer tells the truth. She's in Chicago now, living a life where ranch wars and blood feuds are just stories in the newspaper. The barn doors creak open to reveal young John Dutton Sr., now a hardened 19-year-old, sharpening his skinning knife. The blade catches the light, flashing across the brand on the wall, the same brand that will mark livestock for generations to come. His eyes, once wide with boyish wonder, now hold the cold calculation of a man who's learned the hardest truths about what it takes to keep what's his. Down in the valley, the remains of Eli's oil derricks stand like skeletal sentinels. The ground there still smells of petroleum and regret. No marker shows where they buried what was left of James's brother after the explosion, just another unspoken Dutton secret, sinking into the Montana soil. As night falls, James sits at his desk, the same desk his grandfather built 80 years earlier. His gnarled hands smooth over the ranch ledger, the numbers telling a story of survival against impossible odds. Outside, the wind carries the lowing of cattle and the distant howl of wolves, the same sounds that greeted the first Dutton, and the same sounds that will greet the last. The Dutton legacy lives on. And so does this channel. If you want to be the first to know when Yellowstone 1944 drops in 2026, plus all the breaking news, cast updates, and exclusive theories, smash that subscribe button. Don't miss a single update. Hit the bell icon to get notified the second we post new content. Comment below. Who's your favorite Yellowstone character of all time? Could they survive 1944? This is just the beginning. The ranch wars aren't over, and neither are we. Stay tuned, stay loyal, and keep your iron close.